Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning as we celebrate the graduation of Detention Officer Basic Class 26A 112. My name is Chuck Bain, and it is my honor to serve as both the Director of the Academy and the MC for today's ceremony. We are recording the ceremony for later posting on our website, so those folks that were not able to join us today have an opportunity to view the ceremony. The number 26A 112 is significant. 26 represents the year, A denotes it's the first Detention Officer Basic of 2026, and 112 indicates that this class is the 112th graduating Detention Officer Basic from our Academy. Our ceremony is steeped in history and tradition. Veteran detention officers who began their careers in Wyoming and graduated from our Academy have shared the same sense of accomplishment and perhaps even the relief felt by today's graduates. Detention Officer Basic Training graduation marks a time of transition for these officers as they begin their careers in the field of detention. This transition takes them from being an individual contributor to now a public servant focused on others. The transition process is not easy, and as such, these graduates have every right to be proud of their hard work and accomplishments, which are necessary to complete the basic course. But this ceremony is not just about graduates. It is also a gesture of thanks to their families and administrators who have supported them during their absence. We welcome your participation in today's ceremonies, including yells and cheers, as we celebrate the success of these students. It is more than appropriate to share the overwhelming pride, honor, and joy felt within this room today. Would you please stand and welcome Detention Officer Basic Class 26A 112. Class, please come forward. We are pleased to have Ed Davis, President of the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, deliver today's invocation. Chaplain Davis.
Pray in my denomination. Please pray with me. Father God, I'm asking for your healing for the detention officer who tirelessly serve in the midst of challenging circumstances. Lord, you know the emotional and psychological toll that their work can take on them as they witness the brokenness and pain of those in their care. I pray that you would pour out your healing touch upon them, granting them resilience and strength to navigate the difficulties they face each day. Restore their hearts and their minds, filling them with your peace that surpasses all understanding. Guide them with your wisdom and discernment as they make decisions that impact the lives of others. Surround them with a supportive community and remind them that they are not alone in their struggles. Lord, I ask effects of their work, shielding them from burnout, compassion fatigue, and any other emotional or psychological challenges. May he experience your love and grace in abundance, finding solace in your presence. I ask all of this in your precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Davis. Just a quick note that Chaplain Davis himself is a former detention officer and an academy staff instructor that I had the opportunity to work with many, many, many years ago. What was it? A couple of years after the wheel was invented. Yeah, exactly. So, thank you for being here today. At this time, please allow me a moment to introduce a few of the people sitting before you today. I'm going to skip the gentleman just immediately to my right. For right now, Chaplain Davis, who you've already met. Robert Terry, who is the Executive Director of the Wyoming Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. Jesse Curtis, who is our Deputy Director, and Warren Steele is our Training Manager. No organization can or would be successful without support from behind the scenes, and our academy is no exception. Staff members are what make this basic training possible and highly effective. As I speak, 3 of our most vital service sections remain at work elsewhere in our facility, and it is their collective efforts that contribute and ensure the quality of today's ceremony. These sections include our food service, our custodians, and our maintenance staff. Even though they are not in attendance, would you please offer a round of applause for them? Our office section is known for its dedication and efficiency. Without them, we could not accomplish our mission. Office staff with us today, please stand and be recognized. Staff is the final section of today's ceremony. This group of dedicated people not only instruct a wide variety of subjects, but they also serve as team leaders, coaches, and coordinators. Instructional staff, please stand and be recognized. At this point in our ceremony, I would like to ask the county sheriffs who are attending the ceremony today to please stand and be recognized. It is not an easy feat for these administrators to clear busy schedules and personally attend their deputies' graduations. Thank you, Sheriff, for your support of these students. And finally, we would like to extend our recognition to Department Command staff, middle managers, first-line supervisors, and law enforcement colleagues in our audience today. Would everyone representing a law enforcement agency please stand? Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today's ceremony. He was born and raised in Campbell County and graduated from high school there. He graduated from the Rocky Mountain College in Billings, Montana with a bachelor's degree in business administration. He has been married to his wife Lori for 39 years and they have 2 children. He is active in the community, sitting on many local boards, and was recently recognized for over 40 years of service at the Campbell County Sheriff's Office. He has served in a variety of positions such as patrol, investigations, DCI task force agent, DARE and crime prevention, SWAT team member, hostage negotiator. He is also a senior member and a wise sage for the Academy Advisory Board. He became undersheriff in 2003 and was appointed acting sheriff in 2014, sworn in as sheriff in 2015, and he has been re-elected in 2018 and again in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Campbell County Sheriff Scott Payne.
Thank you, Director Bain. I appreciate that introduction. Before I get started, I see some some fellow sheriffs over there. You guys want to have a seat, because it's going to be a long time. This speech is long. You guys are come over here and sit down right now. Come on over. All right. I'd like to thank you to the Academy for the invitation. Thank you, distinguished guests, and fellow sheriffs. I appreciate your support through all those years. And now, class of 26A 112. I have a few words for you. Today, the state of Wyoming is blessed to have you all sitting here as newly minted detention officers. Your respected agencies should be very proud of your accomplishments. At the very least, you should feel honored. Today is your day. It is your time to shine. You've completed a transformation from citizen to law enforcement officer. You've passed all the hiring segments, survived the physical and mental training of the academy life, sacrificed a lot over the last 8 weeks, and have successfully arrived at this moment in your life. You have worked hard through personal and family hardships and now launching a new career. Congratulations. It's been a journey. Now, it's important not to tarnish what you have accomplished by losing sight of who you are when you put that uniform on. Don't throw it away by forgetting the rules and your sworn oath. You are now in the public eye until the day you retire, always subject to constant Monday morning quarterbacking. Every action you take or don't take will be subject to scrutiny. It is just a fact of life from now on, but I know you're up to the challenge. You're excited to get started back at your agencies, and so I'd just like to say a few things about the career you've chosen and maybe offer you some advice. We have a quote that is painted in big letters on the wall in our workout room at the Campbell County Sheriff's Office. It's a quote by Edmund Burke, and it says, "All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing." I believe that is what our profession is all about. Good men and women doing something so that evil doesn't triumph. Now, those police shows that you see on TV or in the movies are always the same. The officer corners the suspect who points a gun at the officers. There's a standoff. They tell him to drop the gun. He doesn't. There's a tense moment, and the suspect seems to give up and suddenly shoots at the officer. Of course, he misses. The officer shoots him. Afterwards, there's a pat on the back for a job well done with an agreement to meet at the local bar or restaurant. And next week, it starts all over again with the same results, and it's perfect every week. I really think that the public expects the same thing from law enforcement. It's just like it's on TV with an expectation of perfection every time. The truth is, we are not those people on TV. We have fears, physical limitations, financial issues, stress of all kinds, with limited resources. We are normal, everyday human beings who are a part of this community that we live in. We are the neighbors. Our kids go to local schools. We're involved in local organizations. We go to local churches. We are coaches, teachers, instructors. So again, we are those human beings which I freely admit, we don't do everything perfectly, and we do make mistakes. But I'll tell you this, over the almost 900,000 sworn officers in America that work in this profession are great individuals who love serving their community. They respect the people entrusted to them. Unfortunately, there's just a few, like in every profession, that do not. That is why that our law enforcement family, the seasoned ones sitting in the audience today, as well as the new graduates here, should constantly remind each other that our authority is a permission to control it. That our authority is a sacred trust, and we accept this trust as a part of our communities, not as permission to control it. Our community expects our service to be the highest that we can provide, nothing less. And I believe all our officers do respect our communities and want to do their best. They're proud to wear the uniform. But we know sometimes officers doing their very best are forced to make critical decisions in horrible situations and do so in fractions of seconds. And again, it's not TV. Many of our other factors make a difference in the outcome of these situations, and it does not turn out perfectly every time. Very seldom does it. And anyone who's anyone wants to weigh in and let us know how we should have done our job. And it's hard to be in law enforcement during these times. If one officer messes up or does wrong, everyone else in the profession pays for it. Every day in America, families go about their lives. They wake up, sit down for breakfast, and send their kids off to school. Then they head into office or out in the field or their place of employment. And after putting in an honest day's work, they return home ready to do it all over again. It's a cycle. And I think that cycle also is taken for granted. We know that any given moment, in an instance, chance can change everything. And that is where we come in. Our communities realize a certain order in our lives, a certain sense of security that lets us sleep safely in our beds and walk around our neighborhoods free from fear or go about our daily lives without being the victim of a crime. Now that sense of security doesn't come on its own. What makes it possible, what makes freedom possible, are the law enforcement officers like these graduates and the ones in the audience. It's the men and women, like so many of you. It's anyone who's ever put on a uniform, or worn a badge in the name of law, in the name of order, in the name of protecting and defending our community and the United States of America. And what led you to such a life? It's not a job. It's not a profession or a career. I believe it's a calling from a higher authority that led you to serve our neighbors, a calling to serve our neighborhoods, a calling to live a life in service of others. It's a calling to protect and serve, and that calling carries an immense risk. You don't know the dangers you'll face each time you put on that uniform and go to work. All you know is your duty to keep the community safe, and it's a duty that you fulfill every single day. Now I know throughout your training here at the Academy, you've been taught what the expectations of your duties as a detention officer are. Such things as respect for others, compassion, honesty, courage, attention to detail, attention to duty, adherence to law, policy, procedure. And I'm confident you have learned all those things. And I know you will also learn the practical implications of them when you get back to your respective communities. So today, I want to share you 3 pieces of advice that may help you find success in your careers. First, working in law enforcement is full of challenge and opportunity. Your respected agencies are full of unlimited opportunities for you to personally go after. Whatever the challenge you decide you want to take on, you'll soon be exposed to it. Take it all in. Look for the challenges that fire you up. What will that be? Will you work your way up the ranks, become a DTO, firearms instructor, custody control instructor, SORT team member, maybe work your way to patrol, K-9 SWAT, investigations, narcotics? There's so many opportunities. My advice to you is find your niche and go with it. And whatever it is, whatever your challenge, look for the opportunities to get there. Prepare yourself at every step along the way. Work doing the assignments that you're in, performing it to the best of your ability. Each assignment you have will be important. Make sure or demand that it is done well. One of the most rewarding aspects of choosing law enforcement career is that virtually every one of its different jobs is necessary and meaningful. You should never lack for important work. Secondly, be a person of character. A great leader has good character. Seek to live a life of integrity and encourage it in others. Earn the trust of your peers and your supervisors and the community. Law enforcement work is a business partnership. It begins at the office or in the jail or even in your cruiser. It is dependent on the trustworthiness and credibility of the individuals involved. Be a good partner by being an individual that is trusted based on a reputation for integrity and competence. And remember, a leader is not always the boss, and the boss is not always the leader. The leader is the one that sets the example to others to follow. And I expect when you leave here today, you will go out and build a relationship with your agencies and your community. And I can't stress enough that everything that you do reflect not only yourself, but your family, your agency, this academy, and law enforcement profession as a whole. Again, It's not you against the community, it's you with the community. And then third bit of advice is it has three parts to it as well. It's to keep a sense of balance in your lives. Ground yourself in faith, family, and friends. You see, this job can be all-consuming, and if you let it, and I'm telling you, don't. You will always be better on the job when your life is balanced off the job. Now, first one I talked about was faith. The Bible says in Matthew 5, verse 9, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." I think that's important for you graduates to understand God's purpose for your work. You are blessed for the work that you do or are about to do. It is sad to me that some of today's peacemakers don't know that they are blessed. And it's comforting to those who understand this, and most importantly, believe it. I can tell you that my faith has gotten me through many situations over my career. I quickly learned that I was not able to handle everything on my own. Second, family. Family is a huge part of your support system. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here today. Some of you know very well already. Don't take that for granted. While you graduates were at the academy getting trained, your families were continuing to function every day without you, which is no easy task and is a burden to both you and your family. Being part of law enforcement can be tough. There can be times when you come home from work and you might be staring off into space when your family members are trying to talk to you after a busy day. Make sure you take time to communicate with them. And to the family members, remember that your officer wants to hear every word that you say, or lack of response is not lack of care. They need you to ask them about their day and listen to their words. Not because they want attention, but they just need to get things off their chest, and they're venting with the ones that they trust and care the most. And if you notice them start to withdraw, it's not because they have something to hide. It's more likely the fear of feeling weak or something else on their mind. You see, they have expectations that they should always be brave, steadfast, and resilient. Remember, behind the backs, they are human, and they need your support. And if there's one thing I have learned over the 40 years of law enforcement, is that you need to have support away from the office. Many times I have been the weak one, and my wife has been the strong one. And last of the balancing acts is friends. It's important for you to enjoy life outside the office. If you don't, it will eat you up. Enjoy your friends while fishing, bowling, golfing, traveling, or whatever you just like to do. Just do it. Get involved with your community. Get involved with your community because you're a part of it, and it's good for law enforcement. I tell all my new officers that being employed at the Pelham County Sheriff's Office means being a good neighbor, a neighbor that is a house that everyone can come for help, advice, or just to talk. I tell them to get involved in their kids' local schools, churches, become a coach, teacher, instructor, get involved in the local organizations. You've heard me say this a few times today, that it must be important. You don't just police the community, you are the community. And so it's important to balance all those things in your life to be successful. If you want to know how this is done, just look for those men and women throughout your agency whose character, work ethic, and balance you respect and whom you can imitate. Every office in this great state has those types of employees. And I guarantee you, those good people in your agencies are looking for opportunities to mentor and develop others to the truest sense of passing the torch. You'll recognize them easily, too, and they will stand out. And I encourage you to be such a standout. One added bit of advice that I'm throwing in for free: it is important that you always strive to learn, improve. Basic Academy is just that, Basic Academy. Read, study, go to specialized training, learn new practices. Pay attention to your physical self physically. Work out, or run, eat sensibly, take care of your body. Be prepared, better prepared than the other person, like the one you might meet someday head to head. Never be satisfied that you know enough or are good enough. Finally, after saying all of that, remember this: success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful. You have the opportunity in front of you to achieve success in your law enforcement career. I urge you to take it. Congratulations, be safe, and and God bless.
Thank you, Sheriff, for your remarks and joining us today on your job. As usual, some individuals in the class go above and beyond what is expected of them. At this time, we would like to recognize the officers who have distinguished themselves in this basic course. Instructor Robert Lane, would you please come forward to present the Physical Fitness Award?
Thank you, Director Bain. During basic training, the students participate in 24 hours of physical fitness. This includes aerobic and anaerobic core and strength training. Nutrition and the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle are included. The students are tested physically from the moment they arrive, day one, starting at 0700, until their final PT assessment earlier this week. Each assessment includes their maximum number of push-ups and sit-ups in 1 minute, as well as their time for a 1.5 mile run. The top PT award goes to the student who has the highest cumulative percentile score during the final PT assessment based on age and gender. The Physical Fitness Award winner completed the following: 41 sit-ups in 60 seconds, 53 push-ups in 60 seconds, and a 1.5 mile run in 11 minutes and 35 seconds. The Physical Fitness Award for Detention Officer Basic 26A 112 goes to Deputy Cody Dennison from the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Alquist, would you please come forward to give recognition to those who excel in firearms?
Thank you, Mr. Lyon. To prepare for their final proficiency scores, Detention Officer Basic students shoot approximately 1,000 handgun rounds at distances of 3 to 15 yards. In order for a student to achieve certification, they must shoot a minimum proficiency score of 80% with their handgun. The WLEA Top Gun Award is given in recognition of an individual's outstanding performance and dedication to firearms excellence. This class was unique in that 2 students shot 100% with their handgun. To determine a winner, the firearms instructors put these students through an additional comprehensive test. The WLEA Top Gun Award for Detention Officer Basic 26A 112 goes to Deputy Jack Stout from the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Miller, would you please come forward and give recognition to those who excel in academics?
Thank you, Mr. Alquist. The students are tested continuously as they progress their basic training. They must meet established minimum requirements in order to receive their certificate of successful completion. Specifically, they must pass 5 examinations worth a total of 1,439 points. The top academic award goes to that student who achieved the highest academic cumulative average throughout the Detention Officer Basic. The top academic student in this class had an average of 97.36% over the course of basic training. Out of 1,439 total points available, this officer scored 1,401. The academic award for Detention Officer Basic 26A 112 goes to Deputy Joseph D'Antonio from the Each class elects a spokesperson to represent their class at graduation to share their collective thoughts and experiences from the training. At this time, I'd like to invite up class speaker, Deputy Isaiah Timbers from the Natrona County Sheriff's Office.
Like the short, sweet like me.
Congratulations, Detention Officer Basics Class A of 2026. And thank you for trusting me to stand as your class speaker. Leadership on school. To our sheriffs and administration, thank you for being here. And thank you for shaping our schedules, our curriculum, and our training. You didn't just put together a program, you built an experience that pushed us, tested us, and prepared us. To the Academy staff and instructors at WLEA, thank you for your patience, your knowledge, and your investment in us. I know we've been energetic, loud at times, maybe occasionally challenging. I personally think Mr. Allred should consult his doctor about changing his heart medication as soon as we leave. But in all seriousness, thank you for guiding us, correcting us, and helping us grow into more competent and confident deputies. When I applied to this job, I had the same mindset many of you did. I wanted to make the world a better place. During my old board, somewhere around the halfway point, I pictured myself in a department pickup, patrolling the county, chasing bad guys, and getting into gunfights. Then they told me I'd be starting in the detention center. I'll be honest, I was apprehensive. But what I've come to realize, and what many of you already know, is this. Detention is not less than. It is foundational. We may not always be seen. We may not always get thanked. We might not carry the flashiest gear or be out making traffic stops. But we are the backbone of the justice system. We protect the community, and we protect the people in our custody. We ensure that those who have violated the law are held accountable, while due process runs its course. We stand between chaos and order. That matters. In every single jail holds someone's loved one, someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's brother, sister, mother, or father. They may test us, they might fight, manipulate, attempt escape, fake illnesses, or avert medical emergencies. They may push us to the edge of our patience, but they are still human beings, and we are responsible for their care and their safety. The people in our jails can infuriate us and test our grip on reality, and sometimes those include our coworkers. Not my crew. But professionalism isn't optional for us. Integrity isn't situational. Honesty isn't conditional. We wear a badge that represents something bigger than ourselves. We are called to live up to the standards of sheriff's deputies every single day, especially on someone else's worst day. We must be ready to break up fights, stop contraband, respond to emergencies, and run towards danger when others run away. This is not a normal job, and we cannot be normal people. Over these weeks, we've trained in 10-degree weather while the wind tried to push our rounds off target. We've driven over war cones that I thought humanly possible. Given pepper spray, most of us, which is hilarious when it's happening to someone else. We've rolled on sweat mats, had late-night McDonald's runs, shot pool, and had real conversations about life. Some of us made mistakes along the way, but when we did, this class didn't tear people down. We picked each other up. We held each other accountable. We got better. And that's what makes this class special. If I ever called for backup, I'd be proud, confident, to see any one of you running towards me. But graduation isn't the finish line. It's the starting point. We cannot let this academy be the peak of our training. We have to keep growing, physically, mentally, professionally. Keep hitting the gym, keep wrestling, keep shooting, keep studying case law, keep sharpening our instincts. The day you think you've arrived is the day you become a liability. In our personal lives, we must carry ourselves in a way that reflects the badge, even when no one is watching. Our instructors are fond of telling us life is about choices. It's about discipline, it's about grace. None of us are perfect, except Mr. Labrador. We're responsible for striving to be better tomorrow than we are today. I look forward to watching each of your careers unfold. I look forward to the stories we'll share years from now about where we started. And I'll close with this from Matthew 5. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. Class A of 2026, let's go be peacemakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Kimber, for your remarks. establish the Honor Graduate Award for the student who consistently performed to the best of their abilities. Mr. Steele, Mr. Lawrence, please come forward to recognize the nominated students and present the Honor Graduate Award.
Thank you, Director Main. The Honor Graduate Award is the highest honor the Academy presents to a student graduating from a Wyoming law enforcement basic course. In order to be eligible to receive this award, a student must be nominated by a member of the instructional staff. It's not a popularity contest. It's an honor just to be nominated. Once the deputy is nominated, a very comprehensive and objective point system is used to assess the nominee's performance while attending basic training. The specific areas evaluated are the student's academic scores, proficiency in firearms, custody and control, physical fitness. In addition to these, students are assessed in the following 6 areas of professional citizenship: leadership, effort, cooperation, initiative, attitude, and improvement. In alphabetical order, will the following deputies please come forward to receive your merit award in recognition of your nomination? From the Converse County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Clarence Crutchfield. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jose Duarte. Also from the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Logan Orick. The Honor Graduate Award recognizes the one student in each basic class who exemplifies all the attributes of a professional detention officer and performed exceptionally in all phases of training. In addition to receiving a plaque, and with the intent to encourage the recipient beyond today's recognition, the Honor Graduate will receive a $500 scholarship for any advanced training offered here at WLEA. It's a long-standing tradition that the audience stand while the Honor Graduate Award is presented. Would you please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, the Honor Graduate Award for Detention Officer Basic 26A 112 goes to Jose Duarte from the Please be seated. At this time, we will award graduation certificates.
The staff here at WLA congratulate you, Detention Officer Basic 26A 112, for completing your basic training. We started this journey just a few short weeks ago, and today we have arrived. On behalf of the class and Academy staff, we'd like to thank the many Wyoming law enforcement agencies and associations across the state who partner with us to provide the best possible training so that these officers have what they need to do their jobs competently, reasonably, and safely. The Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, the Wyoming Peace Officers Association, the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission are a few of the many who regularly devote expertise, financial assistance, and manpower to assist us in accomplishing our mission, and we thank you. The Academy would also like to recognize the family of these men and women who themselves willingly sacrifice in many unseen ways so that their loved one can protect their community. These officers cannot do what they do without you. We know that you've taken care of things these last several weeks so your loved one could be here and study their craft. The Academy thanks you for your sacrifice, and we appreciate you. Detention Officer Basic 26A 112, you have spent the last several weeks constantly engaged in activities that force you to learn and apply and creatively adapt the basic concepts of the law enforcement detention professional and achieve functional outcomes. At the same time, we've emerged to a culture that demands initiative and resolve, accountability, and integrity, which is the same environment we're now returning to. You're here today because you've demonstrated a basic level of functionality and the core competencies we measure, which in and of itself is an achievement to be celebrated. Our challenge to you now is that you continue training, continue practicing, and continue striving to become a masterful detention officer. Because this is the expectation that both your agency and your community have. Director Bain, I recommend the awarding of certificates for the successful completion of the Wyoming post-approved 310-hour Detention Officer Basic Course 26A 112. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to come down and take pictures of your loved one. We have till 5. From the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jacob Bailey.
Let's go, Jacob. Number 1.
From the Converse County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Clarence Crutchfield. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Joseph D'Antonio. From the Sublette County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Cody Dennison. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jose Duarte. We're fortunate to have a special presenter with us today. These people are the family members of a graduate who themselves have served or are currently serving in law enforcement. Our special presenter today has served with the Park County and Bighorn County Sheriff's Offices for 7 years. Here to present his brother's certificate, please help me welcome Deputy Bronson Fawn. And from the Park County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Hunter Fawn. From the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Melissa Fisher. From the Uinta County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Kate Fry. From the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy James Iron. From the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Madison Jacobs. From the Teton County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Stephen Coates. From the Sublette County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Leopoldo Laverdale. From the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Tyler Lowry. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Tanya Meister. From the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Bruno Mesta. Sheridan County Sheriff's Office, Deputy John Norris. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Hayden Prettyman. From the Wasatee County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Eric Sackett. From the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Alexandria Sanchez. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Emmanuel Sanchez Rizzo. From the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Samuel Sapp. From the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Tyler Short.
You're all there, got it?
From the Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Jack Stout. From the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Isaiah Timbers. And from the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Logan Ulrich.
I told the class earlier when we met with them that I would have a few words to say to them at this time. Here we are. Students' words mean everything to us in law enforcement. For example, the difference between may and shall has significant meaning in our statutes. Merely changing the word or to and within a sentence has dramatic impact on the elements of a crime. Specific terms such as high morals, solid character, and unwavering integrity are often used to describe the expectations we have for detention officers in both their professional and personal lives. And it's ironic that these words that describe the critical traits of a detention officer cannot be taught here at the Academy. We've taught you skills, processes, laws, and procedures. We cannot, however, teach you morality. We cannot teach you integrity. We cannot teach you honesty and ethical character. We have done our best to show you their importance. We've discussed the tragic consequences in their absence, but ultimately the traits you possess and use are those that you brought with you the very first day of our training. I encourage you to put as much effort into maintaining your character as you did into learning the skills taught here at the Academy. Law enforcement is constantly under the public's watchful eye, and rightfully so. Largely due to ethical lapses of a few officers. When one officer chooses a path of negative actions or behaviors, that choice often affects So now, as a public affirmation of your commitment to uphold the high standards required of our law enforcement profession, I'm going to ask you to swear to the law enforcement oath of honor. I also invite the sworn law enforcement officers in our audience today to participate voluntarily. Together, Wyoming's veteran officers and our state's newest detention officers to affirm our commitment before our witnesses to perform our jobs ethically, honorably, and with integrity. Veteran officers that are in our audience today that wish to reaffirm our oath on behalf of the stand. Class, please stand. Everyone, to affirm your oath, I will ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor. I will never betray my badge. My integrity. My character. Nor the public trust. I will always have the courage. To hold myself and others. Accountable for our own actions. I will always uphold the Constitution. And the community I serve. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of Detention Officer Basic 26A 112. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony for today. We have refreshments and some food for everyone in our cafeteria. Never mind, our construction is taking place. If you wish to take a look at the academy and walk around, you're welcome to do that. And as always, thank you for coming. Please drive safely going home. God bless.